All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, as the Philadelphia Eagles continue to be successful in their execution of the tush push, don't expect the noise in regards to banning the controversial play to subside. We only have 2 weeks in the book for this NFL season, and the bulk of the national media is on board with getting rid of the play. It didn't help the Eagles' case that a false start penalty late in the game this past Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs was not called on them when they executed the tush push. Now, some of the critics are calling the tush push an unsafe play, and some are simply calling it unblockable. And there are those who do not see it as a football play to begin with. But unlike the bulk of the National Football League, the Eagles have perfected it. Now, the push, no pun intended, to ban this play was started by the Green Bay Packers, and it gained some traction this past offseason as it fell just 2 votes short of banning it. And honestly, I have a feeling that if it comes up for a vote once again, that I think it will be banned. Cole, what's going on? You're saying your only issue with the play is how hard it is to officiate on either side. Um, I think if hypothetically, if the play does stick around, okay, I think with the technology that is out there and the technology that's coming into the NFL right now, as far as being able to spot the ball, I think that is going to help things in regards to marking first downs or whether or not a guy is short. Now, with the tush push, in my opinion, I've seen other teams around the NFL attempt to execute it, but nobody has had the same level of success that the Eagles have had with it. Mike, what's going on, my man? Happy Tuesday to you. You're saying you agree, but don't hate the player, hate the game. It would suck if everybody did it, but you can't get mad at the Eagles. Listen, that's my thing right there, my man. You just hit the nail on the head because it's out there for everybody to try to do. And I have seen a lot of other teams try it, and it just does not work for them. I'm going to use some other sports comparisons as an example. I think about the famed 2-3 zone in college basketball. When you think about the 2-3 zone, of course, you think about Jim Boeheim when he coached at Syracuse, or you think about John Chaney when he coached at Temple. Those guys were able to perfect the 2-3 for their respective teams, and for the most part, it worked to the point that other coaches, okay, had them come in and really work with them as far as working on the zone. But even when other coaches implemented it, it still wasn't the same. I think about special teams football. I think about Beamer ball when Frank Beamer was the head coach of Virginia Tech, and of course, there's a lot of buzz around that program right now because Virginia Tech needs a new head ball coach. Whole another conversation for another day, but nonetheless, Frank Beamer during his time at Virginia Tech, I don't think any other college football program blocked more punts and kicks than his Hokies did. And it was to the point that a lot of other coaches talked to Frank Beamer and said, listen, what are you doing? How are you making this work? And I think for a lot of teams around the NFL, they're just using this as a cop out right now as far as voting against it. I think of the 22 votes that we had last year against the tush push to try to get it banned. I think all of the other teams in the NFC East voted against it because they're tired of seeing it. But my thing is like I say like this because some people are going to ask, should the tush push be banned? All right, I am in the category of saying no. My theory is this: if you want to stop the tush push, okay, stop the Eagles from getting a third and short or fourth and short because it's one of those. It's kind of like the '90s Dallas Cowboys when they needed that key yard or two you knew they were giving the ball to Emmitt Smith, and you couldn't stop it. Okay, and of course Dallas had that huge offensive line, and of course that was like the segue, if you will, for bigger offensive lines. You knew it was coming, and you still couldn't do a thing about it. Or like going back to the days of Joe Gibbs and John Riggins with Washington in the early 1980s. Everybody knew John Riggins was going to get the ball on a goal-to-goal situation, and it was basically the same play, and you couldn't stop it. It's kind of like the same thing with the Philadelphia Eagles. If you want to stop them on those 3rd and 1, 4th-and-1 situations, make it 3rd and 4, make it 3rd and 5, and even with a third down situation, you know that if it's close enough on 4th down, they're going for it, and you know what play they're going to run. So again, that's just my thought process. Work a little harder to go out there and stop it. I just feel that people are going out there and using a cop out, um, like in regards to that, and then of course the NFL is going to use the word safety as a cop out. But at the end of the day, we all know that the National Football League only cares about player safety when they have to care about player safety, and of course, more often than not, when they've got to cough up some money on some lawsuits. Okay, the media, in my opinion, I think they're going to continue to pepper this topic as the season progresses. The national media. Why? Because the Eagles are going to continue to be successful. The Eagles have a legit shot to get back to the Super Bowl. And honestly, you look at the Eagles in recent years, even when they haven't won the Super Bowl, they've been right there in contention. I mean, 2 of the last 3 years they've been to the Super Bowl. The last 4 years, matter of fact, each of the 4 years under current head coach Nick Sirianni, they have been to the postseason. So you know that Philadelphia is going to be in contention. And I think with every win and every time that the Eagles are able to successfully execute the tush push, it's going to be talked about. And of course, I think what adds to it is we have some of the national media outlets right now that are currently in bed with the National Football League, and of course, you see some of them right now who are pushing this topic as far as banning the tush push. And I think it's a subliminal way, if you will, by the NFL to go out there and get their message. Because again, it fell two votes short. Okay, last time around, and I think the teams that are really, you know, behind it, if you will, they're going to push a little bit harder, no pun intended, to go out there and get this play banned. And it's one of those where I'm not a fan of a potential ban, but at the same time, I could see the writing on the wall, and I could see where this is going because nobody can really stop the tush push. And on top of that, nobody else around the National Football League has been able to execute the tush push at the rate that the Philadelphia Eagles have. I'm like this. If you want to take away the tush push, stop the Eagles from converting on it, or have more teams do it. You know, to your point, as far as what you were saying tonight, Mike, on this topic. Just my 2 cents there. But again, like I said, this thing is not going away, and I think 5 years from now, we're probably not going to have this play in the National Football League. I think it's going to be something of the yesteryear. I think it was something that when it first came round several years ago, with the success that it had, I think some people thought that it was going to be a phase, if you will. But at the end of the day, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's what the Eagles have done. And not only, in my opinion, have they continued to do the tush push, they've gone out there and made it better. And I think having a guy, they've improved their running game clearly, with Saquon Barkley. You lose a guy like Jason Kelsey to retirement on your offensive line, but you still have one of the better offensive lines in the National Football League. And I think all of that continues to make it work. Leverage, you can call it a rugby play, excuse me, whatever you want to do. But like I said, the Eagles just simply continue to go out there and get it done. Steve P, my man, long time, but I'm happy to see and hear you. Well, not hear you directly, but definitely see you chiming in, man. And as always, my man, thank you for the support. So, I ask anybody out there, are you a fan of the tush push, brotherly shove? whatever you want to refer to it as. For me, like I said, I'm not here to hate on them because, again, they have, for the most part, being the Eagles, they have perfected this play. And like I said, they're going to keep running the play until somebody stops them. And I really haven't seen anybody that could stop them. Again, like I said before, and I'm not trying to sound like a broken record here, you want to go out there and stop the Eagles on the tush push. Instead of giving them 3rd and 1, give them 3rd and 9. Instead of giving them 4th and 1, give them 4th and 7. I guarantee you, nobody's going tush push or quarterback sneak on those plays. Also, from another aspect, if you want to get rid of the tush push, let's talk about teammates who are able to push and basically carry, other teammates when they have the ball, when they're stymied by the defense. There's a lot of layers to this thing. So you can't just really just put the brakes on it, if you will, and say, you know what, it doesn't exist anymore. The Eagles take pride in it because they perfected it. I think the Eagle fans take pride in it, and I also think that this early in the season, the fact that so many people are talking about it, and of course, like I said, it's being talked about by the national media for the most part in a negative light. I think all it's going to do is bring the Philadelphia Eagles team closer together, because I think this is the best thing. And I'm not an Eagles fan, okay? I want to make that clear. But I think this is the best thing that could have happened to Nick Sirianni, because as a defending Super Bowl champion and as a head coach, it's so hard. Even though a team could say they're locked in and they're laser focused, this, that, and the third, it's still so hard to get everybody on the same page to try to come back and do it again. And I think the fact that you have so many people trying to talk about this play negatively, and of course, when you think about the tush push, you're naturally going to think about the Philadelphia Eagles. But nonetheless, if you can go out there and use this as an us against the world mentality, things of that nature, it's going to band your team together even more, because they're going to look at it and say, look at what they're trying to do to us. We've been so successful with it, and look at what they're trying to do to us. So let's just take this play and shove it right down there. You know what? Okay, and I think it's a very easy way, if you're Nick Sirianni, to motivate your team, kind of like an us against the world philosophy. Philadelphia is a city as a whole that basically says, you know what, screw everybody else. We're going to do things our way, and we're going to be proud of it, whether you like it or not. And of course, this Philadelphia Eagles team, in my opinion, embodies that mentality. So, at least for this season, I truly do believe that the tush push is going to remain. And as the tush push remains in place, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to simply continue to run it to perfection. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. And since nobody can stop this play, the Eagles are going to keep on keeping on. And like it or not, they're going to keep, if they win again this year, I think this tush push play is definitely going to be a factor. But folks, that's going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Cole, definitely appreciate you chiming in once again. Always appreciate the support. Mike, that definitely goes for you as well. Love to hear your commentary. Love to hear your feedback on things. And Steve P, my man, as always, it's nothing but love. And for everybody, if you like what you heard and saw on this podcast, you know what to do. Just hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. And if you have, definitely reach out to a friend and let them know that they could check it out as well. Also, if you are on the X, which is formerly known as Twitter, you can check me out anytime at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you give me that follow, I will give you that follow right back in return. And the same goes for Instagram at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can check us out at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. Definitely continue to check me out through this football season. This coming Thursday, I will have my picks for my key games for the upcoming Saturday in the world of college football. There's a lot to unwrap there, so definitely check me out. And then Friday evening, I will be dropping my game picks for week number 3 in the NFL season. I'll give you a little preview prior on Wednesday, actually Thursday afternoon, rather, as far as who I feel is going to win this week's Thursday night game between Miami and Buffalo. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off and I'm saying thanks once again for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.